Hey, Darko. Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll get to more fun topics soon, I'm sure, but what was your reaction to the lawsuit when it came in, and how are you feeling about it as we go into the season?
I was surprised. I was shocked. I did not know where it's coming from. Obviously, the lawsuit is ongoing. I cannot make way too many comments on it. What I can say is I know who I am. I know how my parents raised me. I know what I see every single day when I look in the mirror. I know that there is nothing that I should be worried about. And I cannot wait for this lawsuit to be over so everybody can find the truth.
You know exactly what the team will look like on training camp now, which is good because tomorrow's the start. What are your impressions of how this roster shapes up, and particularly with all the playmaking forwards you seem to have?
I'm really excited about the roster that we have heading into the season. I really look forward to create a new identity of this team. We really want to be the team that moves the ball, that plays together, that plays unselfishly, and we're going to try to kind of divide responsibilities on the team so all the players can benefit and everybody can step up.
I was going to say, that's not me. Hi, Darko. Want to ask you a little bit about Dennis. A lot's been made about your relationship with him. How would you characterize that relationship?
Since day one, when we started working together in Oklahoma City, it was a straightforward relationship, and I always had a great communication with him. We worked really well together. He's a front and honest guy, first competitor, and I think he's going to bring a great flavor to our team.
And how? I mean, he had such a great summer with Germany. How do you bring that out in the NBA? I mean, I know it's been there in parts, but maybe not to that level. Is that just opportunity in your mind?
It's first of all, it's a different kind of game. It's a different role. But I think there is a lot of for me to learn about Dennis' game, the way he plays with the German national team. We've been in constant communication during World Cup. And definitely we're going to put him in very similar situations with our team to be successful. We want him at his best. When he's at his best, I think he's going to make everybody around him better.
Hey, Darko, how you doing?
Doing well.
You've talked a lot about Scotty already and what you think about his game. How much do you anticipate using him at the point guard position this year? And with Fred gone, would you consider starting him at the position?
The style of play that we're going to implement is going to be players 1 through 4 are going to be interchangeable. Multiple players will be able to bring the ball up the floor. Obviously, different players will have different roles, different responsibilities. Definitely, I can see Scotty playing on the ball much more. We're going to be calling in half-court sets. We're going to be calling plays for him to handle it in pick and roll, to set screens in pick and roll. He's such a unique player that we can use him in many different ways, but he's going to be used quite a bit.
Hey, Darko. Actually, in the past couple days, I watched all of Scotty's pick and roll possessions from the last season. It was tough for him to get an advantage going downhill, but one of the biggest advantages was running off-ball actions like rip, veer, screen-to-screener stuff to open up lobs and three-point shots. My question is, if he doesn't provide, being a big guy, the typical stuff that guards provide in the pick and roll with pull-up shooting, elite first steps, what is the biggest advantage about using a larger creator at the point of attack as an initiator?
I think there is a lot of advantages there. First of all, he's a willing passer. So when you put him in pick and rolls, he can see the court really well. And we'll try to move the court around pick and roll quite a bit. So actually there are open passing lanes. And I think he can be very good in pick and rolls when when a small sets a pick and roll for him, as well as big Jakob or Precious or any of our bigger players on the team can set screens for him. As far as his downhill attacks, there are a couple of things that he can definitely do better. We've been working on those during the summer. One of those is use of his left hand as well. And he's been doing a great job so far in the open gym. I'm really excited to see him on NBA court, in NBA games, and to continue progressing his game.
We'll go to John next.
Dobro jutro. Darko.
There you go.
I was curious. I'm not sure if you heard what Masai was saying, but he was saying that there's going to be no selfishness on this team. Obviously, you play a big role in that and sort of setting the tone culturally. What are you going to do at training camp to work on that issue that Masai has flagged a couple times for us?
Selfishness, how you're going to describe selfishness? You know, it's taking poor shots, it's over-dribbling the ball, it's, we're going to try completely opposite of that. We're going to try to move the ball more. We're going to try to implement 0.5 offense, so every time when the player catches the ball, that they were making quicker decisions. Is that a shot or a drive or extra pass? And we're going to try to really execute in a half court with a lot of pace. Me generally, I never liked heavy ISO style of basketball. I don't think it can be winning on the highest level. So I think my biggest thing is going to be to have guys to buy in that doing less is actually doing more. Menos es más, as they say in Spain.
So, Aaron, Doug, Grange, Lewis, Joe.
Hi, Darko. You just talked about less is more. You have three guys on this team, at least core contributors, who are heading into, at this point, free agency on expiring deals. How difficult is it, or how do you foresee getting them to buy in to maybe do less this season, even though they're probably looking for a payday this summer?
Less does not mean less of a shots. Less does not mean taking away from their game. Less means making it quicker decisions and sharing it. At the end of the day, ball always finds the best players, and they're going to be in those situations no matter what. So I don't foresee any problems with those guys. I think they're true professionals. I think they're living in the present moment, and they're trying to get better day in and day out. We had a great open gym, and the energy was great in the gym, and everybody wants to make that next step to play fun style of basketball and to play for each other.
Darko, how are you this morning?
Good.
Good. I know you didn't get a chance to work with Pascal in Las Vegas at the Summer League. You didn't get out there. Have you seen much of him this year on the court this summer, and how do you see his game fitting into your philosophy of the way it should be played?
Pascal was with us in open gym. He did a great job. He's asking a lot of questions. We had a great meeting talking about style of play, exactly stuff that we're talking about now. And he's really trying. He's really trying to buy into that and to make quicker decisions and to be more aggressive when he catches the ball. And that's going to be an ongoing process. It's not going to change over the night. But I think that he has a great willingness to play this style of basketball. He knows that's the right way to do it, and that's the way to win in basketball games.
Hey, Darko. Michael Grange, how are you?
Doing well, Michael.
Good. One thing that Dennis was so successful at when he played in the summer was having a lot of room to work. Germany had so many good shooters on the floor. In your top 6 or 7 players, there's not that many what you would call elite NBA threats. So how does that affect the spacing that I presume would help with the style of play you want to play?
That's a great point. I think that we have enough shooting, and I think that our guys are putting a lot of work in. It's just the question of trusting it first of all, I got to trust it. I got to believe in that. And also players, they got to believe that work they're putting in is going to give results. I think the style of play is going to make quick decisions. That's not just necessarily just shooting the ball and shooting the three ball, but also attacking the paint. For me, attacking the paint is very, very important, because that's when the defense actually collapses and then you have extra passes and can find open shooters. And we're going to implement different strategies if teams are trying to go under on us, on pick and rolls or DHOs, and we're going to try to go downhill attacks to create open shots and layups.
Just a quick follow-up on the lawsuit, and forgive me, I'm blanking on the name of the person who came over from the Knicks. Is he still on your staff? Like, is his employment still in place?
He is, as I said, lawsuit is ongoing. I know that on my part, there was no bad deeds or bad intentions. He came to our organization highly recommended from various people in NBA as a high character guy, and I had a chance to see that as well. I cannot comment what happened there, and if he's innocent or not. To my knowledge, he is, but we cannot make anything before anything is proved.
Is he employed by the Raptors, yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. So to Lewis, and then to Joe.
Hey, Darko, we haven't met. I'm Lewis Assman. Good to meet you. I wanted to follow up on that idea of paint touches. Last year, we've talked a lot about identity and culture so far today, but last year, players didn't really turn the corner a lot. The team had some of the fewest paint touches in the league. If teams pack the paint defenses as they did last year, how do you combat that? Because cuts are into a full paint. Passing lanes are clogged other than outside. Outside of culture, with a similar team, will you not face similar issues?
If teams decide to pack the paint, we got to be willing to take some of the shots and to take good shots, and we got to live with good shots. We don't want heavy contested, forced shots, step-back shots. If they're giving us open shots and three-point shots, we want to take those, of course. As far as for paint touches, there are different ways to attack the paint. Is that through drives? Is that through pick and rolls? Is that through maybe post-ups? Different ways to touch the paint. And for me, what's very important, as you mentioned, cuts, is once you make a cut, you cannot stop in a lane. You cannot stop in the paint. You gotta quickly be able to relocate. So everything's starting with good spacing, and after we attack space, it's to re-space, it's to get out again outside of the three-point line. So it's make teams to have multiple efforts to guard us on defense.
Hi, Darko. The last 2 years under Nick, this team had some of the most extreme possession advantages ever in NBA history. Like, that was a huge focus of the team, offensive rebounding, forcing turnovers, and that was a big part of the style of play, was winning the possession battle. To what extent is that going to be a focus for you? And obviously that comes with some trade-offs in terms of the aggression. So I wonder how you're going to balance, trying to win that possession battle or not focusing on it as much versus what the team in the past gave up as a result.
I think it's very important to win the possession battle, for sure. I think we have a lot of players that are very capable to crash offensive glass, to create second opportunities. We got to do a good job of taking care of the ball. If you take 10 or 8 or 6 shots more than the opponent in the game, that definitely brings a value to the team and helps you to win more games. So that's going to be our continued focus.
Hi, Darko. When looking at the coaching staff that you've brought along, there's a lot of significant development experience. I was just wondering how much communication there was in the hiring process about that being a priority. Internal development has been a huge success overall under Masai, but maybe that's tapered off a little bit the last few years.
For me, that was extremely important, and through the hiring process of coaching staff, I had the great support from front office, and Bob and Masai, Dan and Teresa. We were all part of that. For me, it was very, very important to bring coaches that can relate to players, that have a strong passion to help those guys. I believe I talked about this before, but for me, player development is the most important thing. If player improves, now you can put strategies in place, and that's going to give you results. That's how I operate. That's how I see it. And for me, player development is all 18 guys on our roster. It's not just like young guys. So it's for everybody.
When the Raptors have been at their best, there's kind of been this steady pipeline of players coming through from the 905 to play for the Raptors. And that has kind of dropped off the last few years. Was that also a part of the conversation and trying to reignite that?
Cooperation with 905 is great. Head coach Eric Curry, he was with us during whole summer in LA, in open gym, in all meetings and everything. He knows how we want to operate. He knows the importance of us developing players with 905, and we're really, really excited to get more players through that pipeline.
So I'm going to go to Ian, and then I see Tony. Did you have your hand up, Tony? No. Not yet. And then Oren. Let's go with Ian, Tony, Oren, and I'll figure out how. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Coach, over here. I wondered, two quick things. First, if you could maybe comment on the Koloko's absence at training camp. And second, I know the FIBA game is obviously different from the NBA game, but I wondered in watching the World Cup this summer, whether you saw any sort of trends or things happening that you thought might kind of transfer into the season, other, of course, than Germany and Serbia being two best countries in the game.
Koloko absence is due to ongoing respiratory issues. I don't want to make any further comments on that. We're behind him. We want to be with him during every step of the process. As far for the World Cup, yes, I watched a bunch of games with a special eye on Germany and Serbia, of course. But the main takeaway was all teams are trying to play together. It's trying to move the ball. The pass is becoming more and more important. From Denver Nuggets winning the championship and Miami, the way they played during the playoff series, that's becoming a common theme. The basketball is played less and less, giving the ball to one guy and just getting that guy to go to work. It's more of interchangeable pieces, multiple players contributing. It's hard to scout opponents when they play that way. It's hard to play against teams that play that way. So we want to be one of those teams that's easy that's really hard to scout us, and we want to have players that are capable to cover multiple positions and do multiple things.
Hi, Darko. Yes, you have mentioned the big difference for Dennis Schroeder. But as a coach, what is the biggest adjustment or the biggest adjustments that you will have to do? Managing a player that is coming from a tournament with so many different rules, and that is coming to a different team is a great process of adaptation for him. Thank you.
It's going to be a great process for him and for us. We're excited to join him to our team. Apart from a couple of days during the summer league, he was not around the team, obviously, during the summer for obvious reasons. And I think it's going to be great for him. He's really excited. Everything that we communicated is about team and team first, and his willingness and desire to help our team to compete on the highest level. So really excited, and I don't see a lot of problems there.
So we'll do a couple more in the wrap up. So we'll go to Oren, and then the gentleman in the picture.
Hi, Coach. I was hoping you could speak a bit to your philosophy and how you use the bench, how you want to use the bench, because the last couple of years here, I think last year 3 of the starters were the top 5 minutes eaters in the league. Is that something you would be comfortable with? Do you like to have a 5-man bench unit? Like, how big would you like the rotation to be? Just if you could speak a little bit to that depth stuff.
Definitely, I like using more players. I like using 5 players of the bench. Certain nights, 4. But I like definitely more guys in rotation. I believe that NBA season, 82 games, is a long season, and we gotta be smart how much load we're putting on our bodies, on the players for a long run. And we also want to develop our full roster and to feel everybody coming off the bench that they can contribute night in, night out.
Good morning, Coach. As Masai said, Raptors are a patient organization, and the change has been gradual. And before you, Nick Nurse and Dwayne Casey, there has been a continuation. So your appointment is kind of a big change for the Raptors. How much do you feel this is a new era for the Raptors, and how much maybe Masai or Bobby communicated this to you? This is a new era, the blank canvas.
It is a new era, new coach, exciting team, new season. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited about the opportunity that's ahead of me, that's ahead of our roster. I have a great communication and great relationship with Bobby and Masai and everybody in the front office. And this is going to be a process that's going to take all of us to work together to get us to the next level.
Hi, Coach. You hired James Wade this season, who was head coach in the WNBA. How do you think his experience as a championship WNBA coach will affect this season? And how do you think his experience as a WNBA coach will kind of translate into the NBA?
I think he's going to do an amazing job. When I was looking for a coaching staff, I wanted to have diversity. I wanted to have different backgrounds, and he fit in perfectly into that. His experience, not just coaching in WNBA, but also being an assistant coach and coaching overseas as well, and being in Russia and in France, and I think brings a plethora of experience to our coaching staff, and he's going to do a great job with our team and our players.
Hi, Coach. How are you? You know, Pascal Siakam has been one of the most double-teamed players in the league over the last few seasons. Teams are constantly packing the paint and crowding the paint, sending help. How are you looking to potentially maximize the space that he can operate in with his skill set of being such a good isolation scorer?
When teams put 2 players on you, you need to make a pass. Somebody is open, and it's going to be us as a team to provide good passing lanes and good options for him. Game is easy. When you have a less of a defender guarding you, you got to make a move and you got to score. But when they put 2 players on you, you need to find open men, and it's going to be up to us to provide those passing lanes for him.
Hey, Darko. A lot of talk about offense today, but I'm curious about how you expect this team to differ defensively. Obviously, very aggressive team the last couple seasons, a lot of trapping the ball, 2 to the ball. How do you envision, with the defensive talent you have on hand, changing the way this team plays defense, if at all?
For me, it's going to be first priority is going to be protecting the paint. We got to be really disciplined with our rotations, taking away corner threes, using our length to heavy contest everything, and we got to really do a good job of defensive rebounding. I think tendency in the NBA is going to be that more and more teams are going to try to send multiple players to crash offensive glass. So with that, we got to do a really good job of defensive rebounding and giving us a chance to go and score early in a shot clock. We're going to have multiple pick and roll coverages in this league. If you just have 1 or 2 coverages, players are too good, and they're gonna break that apart. So we're gonna have multiple coverages on the ball, off the ball, but we're gonna really try to develop our identity first and foremost to start the season.